Hi and welcome. Thank you for joining me to watch me make one of these beauties. I'm making this one. I've already taken off the factory paint and we're going to make her look similar to this one and that one so that they can go as a trio on my wall. And her face is all clean. We're going to be bronzing her up by putting this matte bronzer on her and just giving her some shadows here and there. You'll see how I do it right now. Starting with the cheeks, we're just going to make some shadows just to give her some dimension and makeup that will make her not look so plain, and it'll actually look like one of those maybe porcelain dolls that have been aged and kind of look older, and they have the chips and things like that. I'm kind of going for that kind of look. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about, but anyway, so now we're just shadowing around her nose as well, just like you would any makeup that you would do on yourself. Kind of just go along the same lines. If you're not really sure how, you can always watch a makeup tutorial on contour, and that would help you to know where to put it also. And there she is, ready for the next step. So here, moving on, we're gonna do her eyebrows, and this is like a marker that I use, but it's got a real thin tip to it, so that's the kind of marker you'd want to use. I already did the one side, and then I marked where I wanted all the points to be on the other side, so I'm just gonna fill that in. And this is just to mark it for when I do the scoring using my X-Acto knife. And here we're just going to make those little cuts, those little lines for her eyebrows, just using the X-Acto knife. You can see how I'm doing it. And I'll be using a brown makeup as the filler to make it look complete. And we'll be doing the exact same thing on the other side of the eye, and you'll see how they both look. There they are, both completed. And this is the makeup that we're going to be filling that with. Here's a better view of it. It's kind of wiped off, but it's just an eyebrow filler. It's almost like an eyeshadow, but it's for your brows. And I'm just going to go in and give a little bit more definition to some of the shadows. Using the same brow kit, I'm going to use it for an eyeshadow, just giving a little bit of shadows first with the light brown and then coming in with the darker brown to give it more definition. before we do the liner. And now we're going to use that dark brown just a little bit closer to the eyelashes. And now we're going to add some drama with a black wing, and I'm just using a nail art brush, and I've shown it in other videos. I didn't show it close up in this video, but it's pretty easy to find. You can find any nail art, any brand in the color black, nail polish, and it should work just as well as this. And make sure you get all around the eye, just filling in the top, the bottom, inside where the lashes are going to go, and you'll see the difference that it makes when I'm done and I show you this clip of it finished here. Obviously do the same to the other side, and there you go. And then we're just going to add a little more shading just to blend a little bit better. And now we're going to do the eyelashes. Now I don't normally put this part in the video because it's so tedious and takes so long, but I figured I would go ahead and throw it in this one so you know why I don't normally put it in. Cutting out the back here of the factory made hat so that I can get to the eyes from the back side here. And I'm just adding some hot glue in the inner part of the eye and then placing the lashes in there. You just want to make sure that that glue gets all the way across so that it sticks from one end to the other on the eyelashes. I absolutely love just the look that this gives putting those lashes on. It looks so much prettier than painting them on looks, or than not having any, of course. I just think it looks amazing once those go on. I use the X-Acto knife because it's pretty easy to reach in there and get in where I need to get to put the lashes in. It also doesn't get stuck very much because there's very little of that tip touching the glue and the lashes, but I'm taking off the excess glue on the back. It's also good for that. So yeah, I always use an X-Acto knife for this part. I do end up sometimes taking off some of that polish that I put on there, the black, and then I'll just go over it again when I see the parts that it might have stripped it off from. But you can see how many times I have to go over this and remelt the glue. What I do is I'm not putting more glue on every time I touch the lashes with the end of the hot glue gun. I'm just touching the hot glue gun to the glue that's already on there to thin it down so that those lashes are right up against the eye and there's not glue that's in between, separating the lash from the eye. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, and there they are. Both of the lashes are on, and I did end up stripping off some of that black, so I am gonna have to replace that. Now I forgot again, like I always do, to record some of the feathers that I put on there. I don't know why I miss that so much of the time, but hopefully eventually I'll get a complete video where I show you every single step. So here I am putting a flower underneath the other side of the hat. It's just a flower that I got from Michael's. It's a big bunch that has some of the petals are lace, and that looks just really pretty, really feminine and pretty. And here I'm just making one of those. I end up just gluing them, the lace part onto the regular flower right here, and you'll see me doing that, and voila, there it is. And that's the 3 flowers that I'm going to be putting on top. Right here I'm using kind of a goldish pink, kind of rosy gold feather. Now I'm going to be taking this little hanger off because that's normally what's on there, because it's a Christmas ornament. When I order them, that's how they come. And I'm going ahead and taking that off because I'm not going to need it once I put it up in my wall hanging thing that I'm going to use. But here I'm just going to go ahead and secure that back down because it kind of ripped it apart when I pulled that off, taking out the excess glue there so it's really flat. Okay, that was just a little extra step for removing that piece. Here we go, putting on that feather. I'm putting on the first one. It's a little bit extra fuzzy. I don't want to leave it just looking like that. So I put on the other feather that came with the bunch of feathers that I got that are this color. Just taking off any excess of the base of the feather that's really not very pretty. And then putting that over that other fuzzy feather to look more complete. And I'm going to do that all the way along on the other side as well. Just keep watching and you'll see how. A lot of this I'll just make up as I go along. I was going to use this long piece, but then just decided it didn't need it. So I used a shorter piece that I first tried on this side and didn't want to use it there. So I turned it around and went ahead and used it on the other side just to fill in that empty space right there. And you'll see how that looked. I'm just going to glue it on and be continuing to add more and more. Here goes the first flower, and I'm just going to put that on right on the well, left side of her face, right side of the camera. And you'll just see how I add these to make them look a bit fuller. I will lift and scrunch them in together to give it a fuller look. Otherwise they would just be really flat flowers on top of the hat, and sometimes that's how I like it, but in this case that wasn't how I wanted it. Already the flowers were really flat, so, or the feathers I mean, were really flat, so I wanted the flowers to kind of come up a little bit, and they ended up really looking nice, being just bunched together like that. In the middle of the flowers, I had removed a pearl that they came with. I don't really care for those, so I instead put these flat back rhinestones, and you can see them in there. And now we're going to be doing the eyes. This is just that foam tape, double-sided. I will stick my jewels that I got from my bracelet that you'll see here in a moment. I am just now realizing that somehow it skipped the eye footage of me putting in those pieces that I have from a broken bracelet. But I have that in other videos. If you see the other two that I made that are just like this, then you will see that I did the eyes in those ones. If you watch those videos, you'll be able to see it. And I'll be doing it in many other videos as well. So right here we're just adding some additional feathers to really fill in any places that look kind of thin, because I wanted it to look a lot like the other two. And I think maybe not at the end of this one, but at least on TikTok and Instagram I'll be showing a video of all three of them together when they're finished. So if you want to go find me over there, it's also elisabella.design@gmail.com. If you see it like that, I'm not really sure. It could be under Elisa Guerreri, and you might be able to find me under that. Anyway, so we're finishing this with these feathers, and so there's some of them. We're going to do some more to go from behind the flowers here, and then some more on her left side, camera's right side, to go down a little bit to fill in that bottom area. As you can see, I'm filling in right here, just putting it behind the flower, and then we're just going to put some glue for it to stay, and that's it. I believe those are the last steps. I also did not record doing her lipstick somehow. So anyway, that was done with a red nail polish. Very little used, very carefully done. And there she is. That's the finished beauty right there. There she is on my tree before I end up taking her and putting her in with the other two to hang on my wall. I hope you liked this video. I hope you watched all the way to the end and enjoyed it. If you did, give me a comment, a like, and subscribe if you want to see more like this. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you. Thank you. Bye.